It's a network of over 5,000 people from over 1,000 global cities that have become members of the network 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 10 years ago. The Sense Network is about diversity, about divergence of thought, about differences in perspectives and opinions. So every project that we work on brings together people who think and feel very differently from one another, and that across over 500 innovation projects. Sense Worldwide and the Sense Network are two separate things. So Sense Worldwide is the agency, the innovation agency that works on consulting related projects with brands and organizations all over the world. The way that we work with these organizations and brands is through the Sense Network, but those collaborations are not the one and only reason why the Sense Network exists. The Sense Network is the brainchild of Sense Worldwide. We created it, we're nurturing it, we're growing it, we're engaging with it, but it's very much the people in the network who make the network so unique and so special. The really special or unique thing about the Sense Network is that we're able to help brand teams to see things differently and think differently about the future. And we do that by collaborating with people like yourself. I have a few quotes brand teams have shared with us when we asked them to reflect on their experience working with people and collaborating with people from the Sense Network. What makes me most proud about these quotes is that they've really enjoyed working with the Sense Network. There's so much that they got out of this because you helped them to see their own category, their own industry, their own space with a completely different lens. We believe in the power of cognitive diversity, bringing a group within that network together, people who think and feel very differently from one another. That collision, bringing those perspectives together, people who are from different backgrounds, have different experiences, think differently, come from different worlds, have different values and attitudes and behaviors and joy points and pain points, bringing that together is where the magic happens. Number two, we believe in the power of going to the edges of culture. If you want to go beyond the obvious, you need to go beyond mainstream culture. You need to go beyond what is happening right now, today, in the mainstream. This is what the Sense Network allows us to do because we have 25, 30, 35, or 40 different perspectives from all over the world around what snacking means to someone. It's that point that just blows everyone's minds. And you don't get that by speaking to a handful of people who live in the here and now. Strategy director at TBWA, and she said, I really love working with the Sense Network. I'm always blown away by just how articulate and expressive they are. Their perspectives are deep, they're rich, they're informative, they're inspiring. Senior Insight and Innovation Manager of Blue Diamond said, working with the Sense Network helps us find the wildcard plus that we haven't thought of yet. The global creative director of Nike said, this is fucking cool. This is what dreams are made of for creative people. The CMO of Principal Financial Group said, if you really want to move the needle, you need to do things differently. And that's why we worked with the Sense Network. The Sense Network is what we call, or where we point to as, the edges of culture, everything that sits beyond mainstream culture. That doesn't necessarily mean that a person in the network as a full human being is a misfit or a crazy one or a rebel, but in a very specific area, perhaps. Maybe it's their personality, but maybe they have one specific passion point, whether that's around music or plant-based food or being a cat lover or being really into luxury, whatever it may be, whatever that passion point may be, that allows you to speak about that space or that passion or that category in a very different way. We need people who have real passion about a subject. We're not in the business of, hey, let's run a focus group to better understand if this ad concept that we created will resonate or not. We're very much in the future. So a lot of the briefs that we work on are, what is the future of money? What is the future of finance? What is the future of luxury? What is the future of snacking? What is the future of plant-based foods? And so on. So in order to get to those places, you need to go beyond the obvious. You need to go beyond today. You have to look into the future. You need to really understand what frustrates people today, what they love, what they hate, what they like, what they dislike. Those tensions, those creative and strategic tensions, help us to make those creative leaps into the future. And those are the types of projects that we work on. Blue Diamond Almonds Extremes, and the Sense Network was very much responsible for them launching 3 extreme heat flavors, the Sense Network helped inspire and helped guide the teams at Nike to design and inspire the House of Innovation. This is with Principal Financial Group. They launched their For All It's Worth campaign. It's about empathizing. It's about understanding your worldview. It's about understanding how you see things. It's about understanding how you act and interact with the world around you. Very, very carefully to what you have to say and how you look at the world around you. The way that we ask questions will always be rewarding for you. It will help you to reflect about an aspect of your life that you've never reflected on as hard as you will when working with us. We've had this feedback a lot from people from the Sense Network who said, I actually really enjoyed this. I never reflected on money the way I reflected about money in the last 2 weeks. And I learned so much about myself. How do we run a project? There's a project announcement that goes out to the network. We post on the Sense Network platform, and we email you. In the actual project announcement or post, if you scroll down to the bottom, you will see the project details and if there are any qualification criteria. So this is how a project starts, or this is the first touch point that you would have with a project. There's a project announcement, which you either relate to or you don't. It either taps into your passion point or it doesn't. Or you feel like this is a really interesting space. I have an opinion, or I want to help shape the future of this specific category or industry. We will have plus minus 50, 60 people apply. This stage is a project registration. We announce the project and we ask you one question to help us qualify if the project is right for you and if you are right for the project. It will take you typically no more than 10 minutes. I'm just going to say it is not paid. A project will go through iterative loops of collaborative activity. Every project is bespoke to a client. A project might have 2 loops, or 3 loops, or 4 loops, or 5 loops, or 10 loops. Where you see the Sense Network logo, so 1, 2, and 4, is where we have Sense Network interactions and collaboration. If you register for a project and then receive an email from us that says, hey, welcome to Project Zelda, you're invited to the project group, that means you're on this journey with us. But not necessarily for the whole project, but definitely for that first part. And we choose 12 to 15 people who give us the most inspiring, most progressive, most forward-thinking responses, and to make sure we have a good depth of opinion. The next stage is where we ask you three to 4 questions. That bit is paid. It should take you plus minus 45 minutes. It's so-called deep dive because we go really deep with you. And we take you on that journey. And this deep dive is typically live for 10 days. At your own pace, you can go through these activities. Some are creative, some are reflective, some are projective, some include words, some include video, some include pictures, some include a mind map. And so we create a long list of ideas. And in loop 4, we show you that long list of ideas, and the Sense Network provides feedback. Do you like them or not? Do you think, does that, do you see the link? Is that something that is appealing? Sometimes we use a digital work environment. We invite everyone from the Sense Network who was invited to that stage to start commenting. It either happens at the very end of loop 2. Loop 4, at the end of that stage, we say, by the way, this is the brand. How does that shift your perception of the idea? So if we look at the future of plant-based, we don't want 15 vegans. We want some vegans, some vegetarian, some flexitarian, some pescatarian, some keto, some paleo. Project registration, it will take you typically no more than 10 minutes. Loop 1, as I said, is 3 to 4 questions. And those 3 to 4 questions will take you, I would say, plus minus 45 minutes. And we usually give you 4 or 5 days, which includes a weekend. Once you get to loop 2, we usually give you 10 days. And in those 10 days, we try to have 2 weekends. You're looking more at plus minus 6 hours. The most time commitment is loop 2, not loop 4. This was the registration question. What type of snacker are you? If we asked your best friend what type of snacker you are, what would they tell us? This is my answer. I'm a grazer, meaning I snack throughout the day. And so I look at this and I'm like, I don't really know what to do with this. If I compare it to this, where someone I'm a constant snacker. I think I have low blood sugar, blah, blah, blah. But all that to say, I'm frequently hungry, frequently need snacks throughout the day. I always travel. She talks about being hangry. I try to eat small, reasonably healthy snacks during the day. My snacking habits tend to lean saltier during the day, but I'm also a sucker for fun, sweet snacks. Already, just by reading this one response, I can see so many fields emerging, so many spaces. So is this a salty sweet or a reasonably healthy versus fun and sweet? She also talks about discovering with friends and family. Okay, so there's a social element. She also talks about bringing exotic treats from another country. Okay, so travel. There are multiple angles that I can already begin to see in just this one response. Have a unique perspective or a real passion for the subject matter. Like, you can feel passion in the words that people choose. The why matters. Now, I don't always expect someone to fully elaborate in a registration, but I want to feel that you care about the space. Number 3, don't be too functional, be emotional. Again, I want to feel what you have to say. 4, be open. Don't filter your answers. Say it like it is. We can only make a difference and help to inspire and develop product if we're true in our responses. Be candid. If you hate something, you hate something. Tell us that you hate something. 5, don't tell us what you want us to hear. Like, yes, you can play the system if you want to, but when it comes to the deep dive, I don't think that will longer hold true. It's a bit like when you interview someone for a job and you can tell that they're telling you what you want to hear. Number 6, add as much texture, color, and detail to your answers as you can. Bring it to life just a bit more. Color and richness to your response. Like, if the person who I just described just added 2 more sentences around what that means for their household, or that this has real implications or consequences of where they can shop or how they shop or when they shop, and that it's really frustrating, or actually it's really easy because brands are putting so much effort into making it more easier. Those 2 sentences probably would have helped him go through.